one stop, a family shop. Think Thayer, come on, let's get rolling. Come on, let's get moving. Think Thayer.
Coach Knapke, questions?
You were benched earlier in the game after an interception. Coach James said James Morgan played well enough in practice to deserve the shot. How did you interpret it? And was it a kind of kick in the pants?
Yeah, I think he was just looking for a spark. You know, our offense had sputtered for a little bit there. We came out strong, scored. We got a couple touchdowns, and then it just kind of stalled. And I think he was just looking for a spark. I think J-Mo's played well in practice, and I think he knows what he's doing. And I think that was kind of Coach Jinx's idea, was just to see if he could get a spark and get some energy back.
Once you got back into the game, do you have a different approach or reinvigorated or what?
No, I don't think so. I think there were plays to be made out there, and we just had to make them. And I think it doesn't matter who's in there, whoever can make the most plays. So I went back in there and I just tried to make as many plays as I could.
Was there a greater emphasis in your eyes to kind of get back in the saddle, because it was that last drive before the half, led to a touchdown just before? I mean, it was a big moment in the game.
Yeah, I think we needed an energy boost there. We were kind of in a rut right there, both offensively and defensively, and I think that kind of helped to get that score, get a little momentum going into halftime.
Was there, obviously the offense struggled second half, was there a reason in your eyes for it?
You got to give North Dakota, you got to give them credit. They do a lot of unorthodox things on defense, and they caused us a lot of problems all day. And I think it's credit to them and their players that they played hard, and that's a good defense. And I think they do a lot of things that were difficult for us, and it was hard to pick up.
What's it take for? I mean, it seemed like a couple times you and the receivers are on different pages again. What's it kind of take to get that kind of mesh together?
I think just experience. I think the more reps we get together in this offense, the better it'll be. It's just like I said last week, was we just got to see things and get on the same page. I got to understand what they're seeing. They got to understand what I'm seeing, and I think that's only going to come with time. And I think as long as we get better each and every week, I think we'll finish the season strong.
Scotty mentioned that last year you two kind of worked together quite a bit during the season for BGSUs. Seems like you guys are kind of on the same page this year. How much has that helped? With the connection you guys had last year.
Yeah, it's been huge. Knowing that I can lean on him, and knowing that we're usually 95% of the time we're on the same page, and I think that's huge for both him and I. Knowing that I can lean on him when we need a big play. He's explosive, as you saw. You get him the ball, he'll run away from people, and I think as long as we can continue to do that, I think it'll be huge. And the more I can get on the same page like that with other guys, it'll only continue to help us.
Having a guy like Scotty and similar guy with Ronnie, they know about Ronnie. How much does that help? That they're maybe more focusing on Ronnie than leave another guy who's as explosive.
Yeah, it's huge to have those two athletes in there, and I think you saw a little bit of that today. If you want to take away Ronnie and his speed, we have Scotty on the other side. He can burn you just as easy, and I think that'll give defenses fits. And I think it was good for him to get that experience. We all know what Ronnie can do, but to see Scotty be able to get those touches and make those plays will help us out in the long run.
Talk about the play of the offensive line. You seem like you're trying to put some pressure on them there. How do you think your guys up front played there?
I think they did great. We knew that coming into it, that they were going to put pressure on us, and we were going to have to make plays. And I think all day, they were picking up a lot of exotic blitzes, all kinds of stuff that you usually don't see on a weekly basis. And they were adjusting on the fly, and I think they did a heck of a job.
Do you breathe a sigh of relief after a game like this against an FCS level team?
A win's a win. No matter what. But obviously, that was a thriller. Obviously, but I think that's good for our team. I think it brought us a lot closer. I think the defense stepped up, and from an offensive standpoint, we know that we can't put them in those situations, and that'll only help us continue to get better.
James, do you have any concern about being the starter for next week, or do you think that far ahead at this point?
No, you don't think that far ahead. We're going to watch the film and continue to get better. I don't think there's any conflict there. I don't think there'll be anything there.
After last week's game, you talked about kind of how the veterans members on this team had kind of been in that experience before and needed to step up. I guess what in this week did you feel from that leadership standpoint, and how do you continue building that?
Yeah, I think I was happy with the way the team responded in practice on Tuesday. You know, the first time putting the pads back on. You know, I thought we learned from the film from last week, and we kind of moved on, and that was good to see that, you know, no one was really thinking about it anymore. And I think on both sides of the ball, that was huge for both sides. And, you know, this week, obviously, we got to win, and a win's a win no matter by how many you win by. And I think that was a huge morale boost for our team, and I think it'll only help us moving forward.
And how were you able to kind of maintain your composure as a team, and getting into a close game like that?
Yeah, I think it was good for us. I think to, you know, be in these close games early on, I think that'll really help us out down the line. And I think, you know, I think our defense played a heck of a game, you know, especially in that second half. They made a lot of big key stops that really helped us out. So I think moving forward, games like this, you know, it's, you know, you don't like to play in them. You know, you'd like to get a little bit of a cushion, but I think it'll really help us out.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.